Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to the match reaction of Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forrest 1. People, I am fuming. I am absolutely fuming with the chance to build momentum after two games that we'd won against City and West Ham. The chance was not taken. A cat who's died 9 times will create more chances than the legit chances that we created today. I am absolutely fuming that we didn't take the opportunity to capitalise on the momentum that we could have created. Because if you beat Nottingham Forest today, you have 3 more Premier League games before the World Cup, in which you could go into that World Cup 6 out of 6. And you know, when the team's on the best day, that they can do that. The best day hasn't been coming enough recently. Granted, there was no Nunes, there was no Jota, Thiago had an ear infection, and let's be honest, we know these things are possible. We know Thiago's 5 minutes away, always, from falling down the stairs and getting an injury. We know that selling players and not replacing them like Minamino and Origi is going to significantly lower your chances when you do get a main injury to any of your strikers, your wingers, or your forwards in general. The midfield, Fabinho, with all due respect, has the agility of my granddad. Rest in peace to his soul, because I even think if he was playing on the pitch in his current condition, he would have been able to do more than Fabinho today. James Milner just shouldn't be playing week in, week out for Liverpool. He might have a role in the squad as a 7th or 8th choice midfielder, but he's certainly not your 4th choice midfielder, and he's certainly not your 2nd choice right back. And that's what frustrated me today. Why aren't you going with Trent? Or why aren't you going with Gomez and Nat Phillips? Why aren't you going with Trent and Gomez? Why aren't you using a partner? And Gomez had a terrible game today. Let me get that clear. He had a terrible game. But I'd have preferred him at right back than James Milner. Milner was good against City. He was good for what you needed to do in that game, which is just defend, and hoof the ball away. In a game where you're going to control possession, there were so many chances where Milner could have put in a pinpoint cross, and every single time he got it wrong. No one being tenacious and running into the box. The midfield losing every midfield battle. I think now we've saw the case study on Curtis Jones on whether or not he's going to be good enough to step up for Liverpool's first team. Maybe I'm being impatient. He's just got back from injury, but I just don't see it, people. I think we need serious investments in the midfield. We're an embarrassing team at the moment. We're not going out there, we're not fighting. We're not going out there and maximising our potential, and we're not going out there and reinvesting. So from the players, they're not hitting their potential. The manager, he's probably overthinking certain things by constantly playing players like James Milner, not giving players like Nat Phillips a chance. And then you've got the owners as well, who will constantly not reinvesting because, we got 2nd last year, so we're going to be more than Sam because we got 2nds in 2 finals or 3 finals. I don't give a fuck, mate. You still need to go out and invest every single summer. When you look at the Pep Guardiolas, the Sir Alex Fergusons, the greatest managers to have ever graced this league, the reason why they get the consistent success, I don't care if City haven't won a Champions League, I don't care if they got billions and billions in the bank. All I care about is the model of football clubs, and the model of our football club is not sustainable to win Premier League titles. And when they're going to proclaim that is the ambition, and going to brainwash the fans that is the ambition, you're going to get more negative reactions like this, which I don't want to do. So you need to go out there and reinvest. You need to go out there and show the will to compete, because right now that will to compete is not being shown or demonstrated by anybody at that football club. Yet we want to win the next game and stuff like that, but actions speak louder than words, and certain decisions being made by Jurgen Klopp, being forced into those decisions and substitutions and playing James Milner, all stems from the lack of investment. And even though I still think you can work around those circumstances to where James Milner shouldn't have to be playing, that investment just needs to happen. And it's not just James Milner's fault. I know that we've got injuries, Jota, Diaz and stuff like that, and if they were all fit, then fair enough, but we know that this squad has had a history of serious injuries, and I couldn't even be arsed setting up my phone and setting up the camera because I just wanted to get on the camera and just speak my mind, and I never try and be negative. But the title race is done. Anyone who thought that the title race was going to continue was deluded anyway. We're going off the back of 2 wins, which really, West Ham, we didn't even play that well in the second half. City, I think City had a bit of an off day. I think we had a really on day, and we beat them, and it was a good win, and I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but it means very, very little if you're not going to build on that consistency. And to lose the bottom of the league, Nottingham Forest, respect to the football club, respect to the European trophies, historic football club, and the fans seem very passionate about the team, but we should be beating them man for man. We should have the quality to absolutely tramp all over Nottingham Forest. So I am fuming with the level of effort, energy and efficiency that I've been seeing from these players recently, because it's not good enough, and the title race is done. Top 4 is a big, big hope. The same way we hope for the league every season, that's what top 4 is now. It's a massive prayer, because at this rate we're going to be playing Conference League football, and that's even offensive to the teams who play in the Conference League, because at this form we're not even going to finish above 10th. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think we've got to rule out the title race. I think we've just got to focus on winning our next game. I hate it when there's a Champions League game after the Premier League game that you've lost, because I just want to play the Premier League again and try and right this wrong, and the players need to right this wrong, and I believe in them, but we need to support them by giving them more options, the manager more options, the players more competition with each other, by bringing in new faces, and it's got to start in January. Otherwise we've got to look at that ownership for the expectations they set in comparison to what we see. We've got to hold them accountable for that, so whether that means getting rid of them or just putting pressure on them, that can be something that we decide amongst us as a fan base, but we need to be seeing a lot more than what we are now, because this is the start of a serious demise for Liverpool at the moment, and this performance is a really true emphasis on that point. So if there's anything I've said in this video that's wrong, then please do let me know. And I'm not blaming any one individual. I'm not just blaming Milner. I'm not just blaming Klopp. I'm not just blaming the lack of investment. We should be doing better today. Therefore, the players and the manager have got to take blame for today. But the overall inconsistency, where we can go out one week and look boss against Man City, and then we look absolutely diabolically shit against Nottingham Forest, and then one week we look average against West Ham. Why is that inconsistency a factor? It's because, one, we've got a very injury-prone squad, and we won't go out and invest on that. So I blame the owners, I blame the manager, and I blame the players, because everyone is a collective fucking pathetic bunch at the moment, and I love them all, and I say this with the most constructive criticism, the same way that if I fucked up, people can constructively criticise me. It's not good enough at the moment, and I'm sure they'd say the same about themselves. Anyway, people, that's the end of this match reaction. Like I said, couldn't be bothered setting up. I didn't think it was worth the time. And yeah, back to daily uploads on Monday. I'll see you all later.